Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mensch. 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, it was announced that Neofetch was no longer being developed, and many people moved over to Fastfetch. And at the time, I did a video on Fastfetch. So today I'm going to do another video on it, and I'm going to go into it and change some of the configuration, because last time I didn't do that. So let's get to it. Right now, I'm in my bare metal computer, and I'm running Arch Linux with the awesome window manager. So I'm going to open up a terminal and let's make this a little larger. And I already have Fastfetch installed with the default configuration. I'm going to type it in, and this is the default configuration. And you can see it has a lot more information than Neofetch, and it runs faster as well. I guess that's why they call it Fastfetch. And also you can see here, it has my local or my internal IP address. So just in case you don't know, and probably most of you do, the modem has an external IP address that the world can see and that it uses to communicate with your computer. And then there's internal IP addresses, and this is one of them. So let's say you have several computers. Each computer is going to have a different IP address, a different internal IP address, where the modem has the external IP address where it communicates with the world, and then the internal IP addresses, it communicates to each computer that is in your house. So number one, I didn't like that, you know, only because, I'm doing YouTube videos, and even though the internal IP address is relatively safe and protected, no one needs to see it. Because of that reason, I stopped using Fastfetch in my videos, and I continued to use Neofetch. And at the time when I made my last Fastfetch video, I just went with the default Fastfetch, and I talked about it. I talked about it being a replacement for Neofetch, and I said, hey, you can still use Neofetch even though it's not being developed. It's not like it's a web browser and you need security patches for it. But anyways, like I said, I've been playing around with the configuration file, and I'm going to show you what I learned. And what you can do is type in man fastfetch. And this is a fantastic man page. I think it's really good. It has a lot of information in there, and it tells you the commands you can use. I'm just going to go down to the bottom. Shift G is going to take me to the bottom. And there's only 175 lines. So it's like, sometimes when you go into a man page of some of the apps and programs, sometimes the man page can be like 2,000 lines or 3,000 lines. It's ridiculous. So like I said, this is fantastic. It's only 175 lines, and there's a lot of good information in here. Right now we're at the bottom. So if you look right here, generate a config file. So if you want to make changes to the configuration, you can take things out, you can add things, delete things, make the configuration your own. If you want to do that, you have to generate a configuration file in your home directory. And this is the command. You know what? I'm just going to copy this command. Let's split the screen and let's insert that command and let's hit enter. Okay, so now we can go to, let's make this full screen, and let's clear the screen, and let's make that a little larger. Let's go into .config. Let's ls it. You can see here, there's a Fastfetch folder. So let's cd into Fastfetch. Let's clear the screen. Let's ls it, and there is the default configuration file. So now we can go in. Let's vim into it. Config, and this is the configuration file. Let's say I don't want that local IP to be showing up in my configuration. Well, I can just delete it. Delete that line. Save it. And I'm not going to go out of here because I want to come back in and do some other things. And now I'm just going to go to another workspace, and let's make this a little larger, and let's type in Fastfetch. And now you can see my local IP address is gone. It's not there anymore. Now another interesting thing you can do is, let's say you like the configuration of Neofetch, but you like Fastfetch better because it's, well, number one, it's still being developed and worked on and updated. And number two, Fastfetch is faster than Neofetch, but you like the configuration for Neofetch? Well, then you could do this. Type in fastfetch --config neofetch and hit enter. Now, when you hit enter, when you do this command, it's not going to change the default configuration file for Fastfetch, and it's not going to change your Fastfetch configuration file that's in your home directory. It's just going to bring it up temporarily. So let's say we run this command. So now it brought up Fastfetch with the Neofetch configuration. But if I type in Fastfetch like this, it's going to bring up either the default configuration or the changed configuration that we made for ourselves that's in our home directory. So it's just temporary, right? Let's do Fastfetch -- config Neofetch. Okay, just like that. Now there's another interesting thing we can do is we can type in this Fastfetch -- config all. And what this is going to do is this is going to run Fastfetch with all the commands that are available for it. So watch this. Now it's 2 pages. So for instance, let's do a page up. So here we can see it starts right here, right? You can see we're running Arch Linux. The host is an Optiplex 7010. My BIOS is Legacy. And we have the board, the kernel, the chassis. My init system is System D. Showing I've been up for 2 days and 23 hours. Shows how many packages I have. Has the shell Zesh. And it's showing my display. Now, and it also shows my monitors. Now I have 2 monitors. And my 2 monitors are different sizes. So it's showing the sizes of my monitors. One monitor is 1600 by 900. The other one is 1440 by 900. And it's showing my displays as well. Now look at this. It's showing my login manager is TTY because I don't log in with LightDM, even though LightDM is my favorite login manager or my display manager. I just log in when I reboot my computer. I log into the TTY and I log into Awesome or whatever window manager I want to use with StartX. So it's showing you the login manager is TTY, showing my window manager is Awesome. And you have my themes, my font, my terminal is ST, and it's showing the terminal font and the size. And here it's showing the CPU. And it's showing my computer right now is at 65 degrees Celsius. And it's running a little bit hot because I'm recording. And because I'm using this background removal, it causes my CPUs to run kind of high. Now let's go down to the next page. And you can see my swap is disabled. Now look at this. It's showing my public IP address. And I think I'm going to black that out so you can't see it. Okay, and it's showing where I live. Well, the suburb that I live in Canada. And then it's showing my local IP address. And I might just block this out anyways. And then it's showing my DNS address. And I think I'm going to block that out too in the video. And look at this, showing the date and time. Nice. And it's showing user, so it's showing I'm logged in as Mensch. I've been logged in since April 11th, 1843, which would be 6:43 p.m. It's showing my sound, and it's showing at 100%. Now watch. If let's say I turn that down, and turning down my volume, and let's just run this command again. See, now look at the sound it's showing the sound is at 44%. Now, if I put my volume back up, clear the screen and run the command again, now it's showing the sound is back up to 100%. It's showing the camera that I'm using, showing the mouse that I'm using, the keyboard that I'm using, and look at this. Check this out. You got to like this. It's showing the weather. Do you believe that? It's showing the weather. Plus 10 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy, in Toronto, Canada, okay? And it's showing my network speed, and it's showing my disks. Oh, and it's showing, now, this is interesting, I forgot I did this, and I started the video. I plugged a thumb drive into my bare metal computer, and it's showing that. So this is my physical drive, and like I said, this is my bare metal computer. I'm not in a virtual machine today, and this is my physical drive. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive. 1.82 terabytes, and you can see it's an HDD fixed. Now, like I said, I have a thumb drive plugged in, and it's showing physical disk, SanDisk, Cruiser, 8 gigabyte removable. Okay, and you can see I also have a DVD player in this computer because it's an old computer. I don't know if the new computers are coming with that, but the old computers are, and so forth. So these are all the commands that you can get in there without having to do any magic. Now, let's say you want one of these commands to be in your configuration file that's in your home directory. Well, for instance, let's say we want to add the weather in there. What I'm going to do is go back here, and you could just put it anywhere, really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out battery because I don't have a battery in this computer. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to take out power adapter. And let's see, I could put it anywhere, really. I'm going to put it above locale. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. So I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to put quotation marks. I'm going to type in weather, quotation marks, and a comma. Just be aware that the last item in the list, you go down here, doesn't need a comma. If you put a comma in the last item of the list, you're going to have an error. I put weather in quotations and a comma, and I'm going to save that. I'm not going to close the file because I'm going to go in there and do some other things. And let's just type in fast, and there we are. We've added weather to our Fastfetch configuration in our home directory. Let me highlight it just so you can see it. It's right here. Weather, +10, partly cloudy in Toronto, Canada. Now, another thing I'm going to do is, let's do that. Let's do colon, should spell it right. Physical disk, I think it's one, I have to put it in as one word. And let's put a comma in there, and let's save it. So now we have physical disk in there. Now what I'm going to do is clear the screen. I want to do lsblk, and I'm going to unmount my thumb drive. So SDB is my thumb drive that's plugged into the system. I'm going to do sudo umount, and it's umount, not unmount. There's no N in it. Run media. I'm going to put my password in, and let's clear the screen. Let's do lsblk. Okay, so my thumb drive is no longer mounted. Now let's clear the screen. Let's do a Fastfetch. You can see here I have a disk that's mounted. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive. I'm using 324 gigabytes of data, or I'm using 18% of my drive. And the file system is ext4. Now what I'm going to do is clear the screen. Now I'm going to mount my thumb drive. I'm going to do sudo mount dev sddb1/mnt. And let's lsblk. Now SDB, because SDA is my hard drive, SDB is my thumb drive, and we can see that it's mounted to mount. So now I'm going to clear the screen. Now I'm going to do a Fastfetch. Now you can see I have 2 drives. This is my main hard drive. It's mounted, and we already looked at it before. It's a 2 terabyte hard drive. I'm using 18% of the drive for my data, and the file system is ext4. And my thumb drive, you can see it's mounted. It's an 8 gigabyte thumb drive. I'm using 313 megabytes of data on it, and I'm only using 4%. And it's showing you that it says here, if you notice, it says here it's external because it's a thumb drive that I plugged in. So it's showing you that it's external. And the file system is VFAT. And the reason why it's a VFAT file system, I did that on purpose because this thumb drive, I want it to work in Windows and Linux. And because the file system is VFAT, it works in both Windows and Linux. And I take it to work with me and bring it home and so forth. And like I said, you have this here, physical drive, it's removable. Now, another thing that we saw when we looked at all the things that you can see in Fastfetch, it had users, and you can see users is not here. So I want to add users, and I also want to take out this color. And the reason why I want to take out this color is because I think it's a waste of space. Okay, I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to add users in. Let's go back to my configuration file. Now, where should I add the users? Now, you can add users wherever you want. I'm going to add it right after host. So I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to put quotation marks. I'm going to type in users, quotation mark, and comma. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to take out this colors. I think that's a waste. I don't need to have those colors there. It's a waste of space. Now, remember I said earlier, the last line, you can't have a comma in the last line. I'm going to delete colors. And now there's an error because break is the last line and there's a comma there. So like I said, you can't have a comma at the last line. So I'm going to delete that comma. Okay, I'm going to save the file. Okay, so it's like that. So you can't have a comma in the last line. Now let's go back to workspace 3 and let's clear the screen and let's type in Fastfetch. Hit enter. Now we can see that color grid is gone down there. And I should have users somewhere up here. Oh, it's way up here. Here it is. Underneath host, I have users. So the user is Mensch. My login time was April 11th, 2025 at 18:43, 5 seconds. So now I'm going to clear the screen. Now let's say you want to revert back to the default configuration file. Well, there's two ways you could do it. Number one, you can go into your home directory and just delete the one that we've been working on. And if that's not there, if you don't have a configuration file in there, when you do a fast fetch, it's going to go into the default one. Now, let's say you don't like the changes we just made and you want to put the default configuration file back into your home directory and start to make some different changes than the ones we just made. You could do this. Let's just clear the screen. Fastfetch -- gen config force. And if I typed it right, that's going to force the default configuration back into our home directory, and it's going to overwrite configuration. And actually, you know what? Let's not even do that. Let's just do this. Let's try to get that there. Okay. Fastfetch gen configuration. Now look at, see, we're getting error message because we already have a configuration in there. And it's actually telling you right here, right? Error. And it's telling you use gen-config-force to overwrite the existing configuration file that you have in there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do fastfetch gen-config-force. Okay? And it's telling you right here that it worked. The generation file has been written. So let's clear the screen. Let's do a fast fetch now. So everything that we added in there is gone. And everything that we deleted is back in there. The colors are back in there. My user name is gone. The weather is gone. And we're back at the default. Let's just CD out of there and let's clear the screen. So I highly suggest if you're using Fastfetch to do man fastfetch and read the man pages. They're really good. Let's just clear the screen. This is the configuration file that I worked on today off camera. And I really like it. You can see at the top, I'm showing I'm using legacy BIOS. I'm using systemd. I have my display in my monitors because I have two monitors. You can see here, my login is to TTY. I'm not using a display manager or a login manager. I'm using the awesome window manager. So this is the configuration file that I've been working on off camera, and I really like it. And you know what? I thought I had the weather there, but I don't. So you know what? I'm going to go back in and put the weather in. Let's go into config/fastfetch and ls it, vim into config. I already closed my config, right? Thought I had the weather in there. Let's put it right here. Let's go under locale. Weather, oops, got to spell it right. The com in there and cd out of there. Let's clear the screen. Let's open it up and let's go fast. There it is there. It's at the bottom. This is the configuration file that I was working on earlier today off camera, and I really like it. And that's it. In this video, I showed how you can play with and change the configuration file for Fastfetch, how you can delete things and add things. And I think it's really fantastic. And, you know, a lot of people like Fastfetch because it's fast and it loads up faster than Neofetch. And it's still in development and still getting updated. But the thing I really like about Fastfetch is that it's highly configurable. I think it's fantastic. And from now on, I'm going to use it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am the Linux Mensch.